everybody, welcome back to RC with Adam. It's time to buckle up and hold on to your faces, cause we're in for a ride. Get ready for mud, drifting, leaves, being chased by giant animals, a girl wearing Target bags for shoes, jumps, more jumps, crashing, lots of crashing, tumbling a whole bunch, and more. It's all right here on RC with Adam. Today we're taking a look at the DEERC Brushless 300E RC truck. This was sent to me by DEERC for testing and review, so big thanks to them. I know why you like this channel, because I give you the bottom line up front and I don't waste your time, so here it is. I think this is a pretty sweet RC truck, but the price is just too darn high. Right now it's going for about $150 on Amazon. I think $100 would be fair. I've asked DEERC if I can get a discount for you guys, so check the description. If I can, I'll put it down there. But look, aside from the price, I still had tons of fun with this thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the unboxing. First of all, this truck is way smaller than I thought it would be, but that's probably my fault. I probably looked at the wrong specs. It basically fits in your hand if you have large hands, but it's pretty small. It's not like a monster truck, you know. It is 1/18 scale, so it's pretty small, but it is quite powerful, as we're about to see. It does come with two shells, one red and one yellow, which actually turned out to be way more durable than I thought it would be. It also comes with two 2-cell 1200 milliamp hour LiPo batteries, a small USB charger, which does take a while to charge the batteries but works, some tools, and a few spare parts. The manual itself is pretty trash but kind of helpful, and we'll talk about a very important thing that you need to do to the ESC to actually get started. And it comes with your pretty typical pistol grip style transmitter. One thing I really like about this transmitter is it does have adjustability for the steering rate, the throttle trim, and the steering trim. I did notice there was some sort of white powder, probably from the manufacturing process, on the body of the vehicle, but it's not really a big deal. This truck does also feature independent suspension, which is pretty sweet, but one of them was actually messed up. It was screwed in wrong or something, so it caused the pin to bind. There was binding on the pin. I gotta take off major points for that one, because it shouldn't come like that, especially for $150. And these struts say that they are oil-filled shock struts, but they are not actually filled with oil. So I don't know if they just leaked out or if it doesn't come with oil. I don't know if that's a standard thing or not, but I had to fill them with oil, and really I had no idea what I was doing, so I probably put the wrong kind of oil, but it kind of worked. They kind of worked. They're pretty good. On the inside, we find the other LiPo battery, the brushless motor, the brushless ESC, the receiver switch, and the steering servo. This truck also features 4-wheel drive with front and back differential, which I thought was pretty sweet. The chassis and strut supports are made of a durable nylon, which actually turned out to be way more durable than I would have thought, because it seems kind of, like plasticky, but it's actually quite durable. Now, here's something super important. In order to get the ESC into the proper mode to be able to drive forward and reverse, you need to go into the ESC settings.
So it doesn't actually flash red, it just beeps. So you hold down that little button, hold it down, turn on the ESC switch. It's going to beep a bunch of times, and then you let it go, and then it makes those sounds. And now it's beeping 3 times. I guess that's what it's on right now, so that's forward and reverse. So 1 beep is forward with brake, so you cannot reverse. Beep 2 is forward and reverse with brake, which also doesn't really seem to work. Not sure what's up with that, but then forward and reverse beeps 3 times. From the factory default, you would press it, and then it will, so now it beeps once. So now that would be forward with brake. Press it again, it's going to beep twice. So that's forward and reverse with brake, and then press it a 3rd time, and it just cycles through that. And then once we get to that, then we just switch it off, actually.
It's really a pain, and it's weird, and it's not explained very well in the manual, but there is a video from DEERC, which I will leave a link to in the description of this video, that explains that process. It's not too hard once you figure it out, but if you don't know that that's a thing, then it's very confusing, so go check that out. After charging up the LiPo batteries, it's time to take it outside and see how she drives. First and foremost, I was very impressed with the acceleration of this little guy. I mean, this thing will fly. This is just, I would say, on the edge of like hobby grade. It's certainly not toy grade, and I was very surprised by how speedy this thing is. And it can even go over some pretty darn thick terrain that I would not think something this small would be able to go over, but because it has so much power from the brushless motor and the four-wheel drive, it really is able to punch through, and you just have tons of fun with this thing. Speaking of having tons of fun, you can see our dog here loves this thing. I mean, this is one of the best ways that you can just exercise your dog without actually exercising yourself. Although I did do a lot of exercising because I had to run along with the camera on a pole to get these super awesome slow-mo shots. So let's just enjoy these slow-mo shots for a little bit here. I'll play some music and let's just enjoy the visuals of this right now. Enjoy it or else. Anyway, I've got a lot more slow-mo stuff like that, so we'll probably bring that in later in this video. Now, let's talk durability and waterproofness. Now, this thing, this took quite a few tumbles. I mean, I was not gentle with this thing, with it being chased by the dog, going over jumps, smashing into trees and things like that, and really, I'm very surprised that the body is still okay. I thought the body was going to crack like that, but it didn't. Now, one thing that does happen sometimes is sometimes the wheels will come off, or actually the tires will come off of the wheels. It's not a big deal, you just pop them back on, and you're good to go. This thing definitely bounces around quite a bit because, well, the suspension is not super great. The oil kept leaking out, so it's not the smoothest suspension, but also it's just a very lightweight car, so it tends to bounce around quite a bit. Now, I didn't drive this thing through any big puddles or anything like that, but I did take it out when we had quite a bit of rain and some mist on the ground. I don't think I have any video of it, but it performed very well, and it got very wet being chased around on the grass by the dog. The dog loved that thing. Traction was pretty bad though. It slipped around a lot. It was hard to get some good acceleration and steering, but it didn't stop because of the moisture. Big thanks to my sister for coming out and helping me film this.
It's fun. I can't feel my hands, so it's good.
I'd let her drive the truck while I ran alongside it like a madman and tried to keep up with this thing. Speaking of keeping up with this thing, how fast does it go? Well, to be honest with you, I don't really care, but it seemed really fast. Quite fast to me. Is it as fast as they say, 60 kilometers per hour? Well, I don't know. I highly doubt it because you know how those claims are. That they'll always take like the top speed downhill on like a dry road, that sort of thing. So I don't really care, but I'd say it had quite a lot of power, plenty of power to zip around and do some really cool stunts. Now, if you want to get more technical with it, you can actually make some changes to the ESC itself. You can change the acceleration, you can change the braking, different things like that. I didn't really get into that. I just ran this thing how it came, and I still had a lot of fun with it. Now, how far can you control this thing? Well, according to DEERC, they say it's about 328 feet, which seems very precise. Again, that's probably best case scenario. For me, I would say, maybe 300 feet, maybe 200 feet. It's hard to say because, you might not be, holding it up really high. It kind of depends, but it was plenty for my purposes. Now, how long can you run this thing for? Well, I didn't actually time it. DRC claims that it can run for up to 20 minutes for each battery, and I would say that is about accurate. It certainly seemed like a long time. I did not really time it, and of course that depends on what terrain you're driving over, how you're driving, if you're driving like a madman, all that kind of stuff. So again, is it worth it? Should you buy it? Honestly, I think $150 is a bit too much for this, but it was a lot of fun. So even if it did cost $150, I feel like you could get $150 worth of fun out of this. But I think that there are other options on the market that you could probably get the same performance for around $100. So definitely go check those out. I'm not exactly sure which one because I am kind of new to the RC truck thing, but man, I am really starting to enjoy it from this experience, I'll tell you that much. Again, check the description below before you buy because I might have a discount or maybe some other recommendations down in the description. Definitely check that out. Again, big thanks to DRC for sending this to me to test out and review for you guys and have some awesome action in the mud and the dirt and the leaves and being chased by things. I had a great time, and I hope you did too in this review from RC with Adam. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again very soon.